You know, when you think of car brands that really command respect, Porsche has got to be right at the top of the list. It's a name that just means performance, incredible design, and that pure joy of driving. But how did this brand, born and bred on the racetrack, become such an icon on the open road? And how is it evolving for the future? Well, let's dive in.
And this quote, it just nails it. It perfectly sums up the whole Porsche philosophy. See, it's not just about bolting a car together, it's about tapping into this deep-seated desire for something truly special. That mix of hardcore German engineering with an almost psychic understanding of what drivers really want. And that, right there, is the secret sauce to this whole story. Okay, so where does a story like this even start? To get the real picture, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, to the founder himself, Ferdinand Porsche, and the groundwork he laid long before a single car officially carried his name.
So the brand's roots in that legendary German engineering, they run deep. Ferdinand Porsche's early work on the people's car, yep, the Volkswagen, is where he really sharpened his skills. After the war, though, the focus shifted. By 1948, his son created the 356 Coupe, which was the very first official Porsche. But the real game changer, the car that would define the brand for generations, well, that landed in 1963. This, right here, was the moment everything changed. The release of the six-cylinder Porsche 911 wasn't just another car launch. It was like a lightning strike on the racing scene. It was fast, it looked like nothing else, and it instantly shot Porsche into the global spotlight. The legend was officially born. So with the 911 absolutely crushing it on the scene, Porsche started to build out its family of icons. And these are the models that are basically etched into car history, the ones that built the very soul of the brand. So you've got this incredible 911 platform. What do you do next? Well, you perfect it. And that's exactly what they did when they introduced the Carrera back in '73. It pretty much immediately became the most loved version of the 911. And this wasn't just a street car. It was a beast on the world's most famous racetracks, from Daytona all the way to Le Mans. And what does that kind of legacy mean in terms of value today? Well, get this. A pristine, antique 911 from the 1960s can be worth over £1.5 million. It's not just a classic car, it's a blue-chip investment on wheels. Okay, so let's clear something up. You've probably heard the name Spider thrown around when people talk about Porsches, and it can be a little confusing. It's not actually one specific car model. Spider is the term they use for that open-top two-seater roadster style, a design that was absolutely essential to Porsche's early success in racing. And the story of the Spider is just, well, it's wild. The most famous one, hands down, is the 550 Spider. They only made 90 of them, so it's incredibly rare, and it became infamous as the car James Dean was driving when he tragically died. That combination of rarity and history means its value is just astronomical. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld sold his for a jaw-dropping $5.5 million. Okay, one more classic we have to talk about before we jump into the modern stuff. The original 718. This thing debuted in 1957, and it was a pure, no-nonsense racing machine. It was lightweight, nimble, and it really cemented Porsche's reputation for building cars that could just dominate on the track. Now keep that name 718 in the back of your mind, because it's going to make a big comeback. So this brings up a huge question, right? Your Porsche. Your entire identity is built on these pure two-door sports cars. But the world is changing. What do you do to survive? And more importantly, to thrive? Well, Porsche's answer would end up redefining the company forever. Their first answer came in 1996 with the Boxster, and man, was it a smart move. It had all that fun-to-drive, open-top spirit of the classic Spyders, but it was wrapped in a modern and, crucially, a more affordable package. It was an instant award-winning hit, and it opened the doors for a whole new generation of people to join the Porsche family. And this slide right here really shows you the two sides of the Porsche coin. On one side, you have the 911, the absolute soul of the brand, born on the track. And on the other, the Cayenne, a big luxury SUV. Now, to the die-hard fans at the time, this was sacrilege, but in reality, it was a brilliant move that brought in the money to guarantee that Porsche could keep building incredible sports cars like the 911. And once the Cayenne proved that this strategy could work, they just ran with it. In 2009, they launched the Panamera sedan. People called it the XXL 911. Then came the smaller Macan SUV in 2013, which has become a massive global bestseller. These cars completely blew up Porsche's market appeal. So, remember that 718 race car from 1957? Well, in 2016, Porsche brought the name back for the 718 Cayman. It was such a clever move, a nod to their incredible racing history, but packaged as a sensible modern car that gave new buyers a great entry point into the brand. It was the perfect way to link their amazing past with their fast-changing present.
All right, so that brings us pretty much up to the present day. Porsche has secured its future, it's broadened its lineup, and now it's looking to once again completely redefine what performance means, this time for a whole new era.
And this is the Taycan. This isn't just a new car. It is Porsche's bold, powerful statement about the future. It's not a hybrid. It's not some half measure. This is the brand's very first all-electric sports car. It's Porsche's way of saying that the thrill, the performance, the very soul of their brand absolutely has a place in an electric world. And you can tell they thought about every little detail here. The name itself, Taycan, actually means lively young horse, a cool tribute to the horse on the Porsche logo. The performance is just mind-blowing, easily keeping up with its gasoline-powered brothers. And this is only the start. They're already planning an SUV version. So when you look at the whole story, it's just this constant pattern of innovation, isn't it? From that first 356 to the world-changing 911 and now to the all-electric Taycan. The brand has always been at the cutting edge, which leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. Are we watching them right now redefine the very soul of the sports car for the 21st century?